Hello all, my name is Krishnak and welcome to my vlogging channel. So guys, I'm going to upload some of the financial related videos in this channel also because there are many people who actually ask me, Krish, where do you invest your money? Probably, do you invest in mutual funds? Do you invest in cryptocurrencies? Do you invest in stock markets? And we really need to know some of the financial related concepts, like what are the differences between shares and stocks, bonds, debts, all this kind of related things. So I am planning to upload something related to finance. And if you don't know guys, recently in cryptocurrency, I made somewhere around 350 to 400% gain. So we'll try to understand how you should basically invest in all this kind of things in this specific playlist itself. So I'm creating a separate playlist on finance related thing in my vlogging channel. So if you are new to this channel, please make sure that you subscribe the channel. And in this video, we are going to understand about the first and the foremost thing, that is what is initial public offering or what is IPO. Now, this IPO is pretty much important. Okay, so let's consider one example. Suppose I have a company called as XYZ. Now, this company has been funded by some of the people initially, and this company is specifically a private limited company. Okay, so if I'll also be future creating a lot of videos, what is the difference between private limited company, public limited company, what is LLP companies, different types of terminologies that are actually used. This is very much important for an entrepreneur who's planning to make their own startup or come up with their own startup itself. Now, suppose this XYZ company has been initially funded by some angel investor or some other investors. Okay, and I'll also tell you, if you don't know the difference between angel investor and investor, don't worry, I'll be telling you in my upcoming future videos and all. Let's consider that this company is being funded by some X amount or A amount. And now this particular companies are planning to really expand. Okay, now they are planning to really expand. I always understand, with the help of investors, they can only get till some kind of limit of amount. There is no specific limit of amount, but definitely if the company wants more and more money, because if this company has just one office, let's consider that, if it wants to open 100 offices throughout India, right? So definitely it has to expand, and for expanding, the most and the foremost important thing is money. You require money definitely, and how you can basically get it from investors, from angel investors, from different kind of investors itself, right? Now, always understand, whenever a company is a private limited company, the only option of getting the money is through investors. Okay, suppose if you want to get the money from public, like suppose if I take some of the examples, recently Paytm got listed in BSE and NSE. What is BSE and NSE? These are stock exchanges, right? Stock exchanges specifically in India, right? Now, in this, when they get listed in this kind of stock exchanges, then people buy their shares, right? When people buy their shares, let's consider that one share, I'm just taking as an example, one share is for 100 rupees, right? When they are buying this shares, they get the shares of that specific company, and this money will actually be utilized by the company for the expanding purpose or clearing of the debt purpose or anything as such. They want to do a new research and innovation, and probably they require money for that, right? So whenever the company, and always remember, the public will be able to buy those shares only when it is listed in the stock exchange, and for that specific thing, the company needs to get converted from private limited to public limited company. When the company actually gets converted from a private limited to a public limited company, then only the public will be able to invest it. Then only the public will be able to buy the shares. This is very much important. Now, if you really want to make a company from private limited company to public limited company, where you can actually list in different stock exchanges, which is basically monitored by SEBI. Okay, this is the statutory body which monitors the entire stocks related activities, right? For that, the company needs to release its IPO, that is initial public offering. Okay, now in the initial public offering, whenever the company is initially releasing, always understand that three main important things. Suppose a company wants to release 100 shares, so that it wants Now, the main purpose why it is releasing 100 shares is that it needs some kind of money so that people buy it, and that money will be got by the company itself to expand or do some other activities for that from that specific amount, right? So suppose if a company is basically releasing 100 shares, always understand, and usually guys 100 shares is a very less. Usually company comes up with many shares, okay, because if it is considering some specific valuation, and remember, after a specific valuation, the company will definitely try. So in the future, when you'll be seeing Byju's, An Academy, these all companies will also be planning to do the IPOs at one or the other time. Okay. Now, initially, let's consider that the company is coming up with 100 shares. Now, this 100 shares will basically be given or listed as an IPO. Okay. Initial public offering. In this, there are three main people who will be investing. One is financial institutions. Okay, again, financial institutions. Now, financial institutions, they usually, if a company is basically coming up with 100 shares or this 100% shares, always understand that 50% will be reserved for this kind of people, right? Financial institutions like merchant banks, it can be other institutions. Some of the institutions which have some mutual funds, who run some mutual funds company or insurance company, right? So these all companies will get the first opportunity to buy those kind of shares. So around 50% of this entire offerings of this IPO offering will be actually given to the financial institution. The second are basically the high net worth individual. High net worth individual. Now, who are these high net worth individual and why do we say that, So high net worth individual basically means that from this 100 shares, there is also some specific percentage, around 15%, where people who wants to invest more than, I think it is more than 2 lakh rupees. Suppose they are trying to invest more than 2 lakh rupees in buying some of the shares, they will be given a chance to basically acquire the 15% of the initial public offering, and this percentage might differ by a smaller amount, but this is the approximate one. And remember, these are non-financial institution. They may also have a non-financial institution, so we basically say them as a high net worth individual. They'll be having huge amount of money and all. I think this 2 lakhs, just try to confirm it. I don't know whether it is greater than 2 lakhs, but let's remove this 2 lakhs because I also don't know the exact figure, which I can definitely research and try to find out. But to understand one thing in that is that they are really high net worth individuals, and they buy the shares, and these people are usually called as bulls, right? Bulls. I think a lot of examples of bulls and bears from Harshad Mehta 1992 scam, right? So that understanding you have. The third one is basically for the retailers, where you actually provide around 35% of them. Now, suppose this company is a very famous company. Let's consider that we take an example of Nykaa, right? Now in Nykaa, I had also subscribed for the shares. In Paytm, I had also subscribed for the shares. And if I talk about just Nykaa, it was oversubscribed. That basically means even though you have 35% of the entire shares getting reserved for retailers, there will be a situation like this retailers, there will be more people. Suppose there are only 35 shares which have been allocated for the retailer. There may be a situation that 100 different people may buy this particular share, right? And obviously, if there are only 35 shares, and if 100 people are trying to buy that specific share, then this, for the retailers specifically, this will become an oversubscribed share, or for this specific company, it will become an oversubscribed share. So during this particular case, how does the share get allocated then? And that is a system called as lottery system. Okay, lottery system. In Nykaa, when I bought the shares, I was pretty much happy because through this lottery system, I was able to get that slots. Okay, slots. And remember, in one slot, suppose there is like one slot. In one slot, there may be some set of 12 to 15 shares, and each share will be pricing somewhere around 120 rupees. That depends on the companies to company basis. But if you are able, the company, when it is releasing this to the retailers in the form of IPO, they will release in the form of slots. Always you really need to understand, right? And by this specific way, company invested, retailers invested, high net worth individual invested, financial institution invested. Now companies like Nykaa, Obviously people had a lot of trust in this. They bought, like many people had applied for the slot. I also got around one slot. I had applied for 3 slots, but through lottery system I just got 1 slot. Why do these people buy this kind of slots, and what is the use and the advantages with respect to this kind of slots? Always understand one thing. Suppose I'm buying this 12 to 15 slots. Let's consider that there are 10 shares in this, and I have put up a money of a cut-off money of 120, and this will basically be 120 into 10, which is nothing but 1200 rupees. Let's consider that this is my 1 slot amount, and probably I've got it. Okay. Now, why do company invest in this kind of IPOs? Because understand that if this company is doing very well, if this company is very much popular, if this company is really much the entire people believes in this company, as soon as once the IPO is basically launched and listed in the stock market, since many people are actually buying it, the real price, initially let's consider that the IPO was launched with this price, the listing price may become 240 rupees, because this was oversubscribed. Many people are using it, many people are buying it. Let it be financial institution, let it be a high net worth individual, let it be retailers. Now here you can see that from 120 it has directly moved to 240. Then suppose if I got this 1200 rupees share, okay, where it was a slot of 10 shares, just understand that when the entire stock is listed in the company itself, I have a profit of direct 100%. From 1200 I was able to make 2400. Like this, many people, if you see an amazing companies that are coming, let it be with respect to analytics, with respect to different sectors, and if that specific company is quite popular and is doing well, many people do invest them in only the greed that they can definitely make an amazing profit, right? Similarly, if I talk about the use case of Paytm, in the Paytm, right, in the initial days, when the IPO was launched, and soon as it got listed, there was a downfall of 25%, right? So that basically means on that specific day, suppose if you buy it for 1000 rupees for a slot which had 10 shares, till when it was actually listed, this price had gone down to 750. So directly 25% was down. Okay. So what is the reason why people are really much after the IPOs? Because understand that they always have that mindset that definitely if the company is performing well, they'll be able to gain a huge amount of money. So guys, now let's try to understand that how you can actually apply for IPOs, and what all platforms you can use. There are many such platforms, guys. Which platform which I use personally? I use Kite by Zerodha. Okay. So this platform I specifically use for applying for IPOs. Okay. And it is a very simple platform. You just have to log in over there and probably, see the IPOs, what different kind of IPOs you actually have, and you just actually try to book the lots. Okay. So this should not be slot. It should be lots. Okay. Lots. Right. So suppose recently when I was trying to buy for Nykaa and Paytm, I had applied for somewhere around 3 to 4 lots. 3 lots for Nykaa, 3 lots for Paytm. I was lucky enough that I got Nykaa and I could not get Paytm because it was completely based on lottery, right? So whenever you have an oversubscribed IPOs, definitely it is luck by chance, so there will be a lottery pickup where probably if your name is coming up, you will get that specific lot. And remember, in every lot, there will be some set of shares, what may be the count, that depends on the lot itself, and there will be some kind of cut price. Okay. If it is completely bought, definitely this price will go high when it is actually being listed. Okay. In the listing in BSE, NSE, this price will definitely be a little bit high. So I hope you like this specific video. This is probably one of my first video in finance knowledge. Like this, I'll be coming up with many such videos. I'll be discussing about what is bear, bull, and so many things will be there. So please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, press the bell notification icon. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Thank you, one all. Bye-bye.